Hi Capricorn, welcome to your November reading. We're going to do a little bit of spraying. Do I want to do the smudge or the vibes? I think I'm going to do the vibes. Okay, so if you're wondering what I'm doing, I have some Bitch I'll Raise Your Vibes spray. I don't know if you can even see the label. And then I have Smudge Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself. And then I also have some Moldavite oil. And Moldavite it's a rock. It's not a crystal, it's a rock, but it really helps with psychic development. So we're going to do a little spraying. If you want to get your own, I also have body butter here as well. If you want to get your own, there's a link in the description box. And you can order it there. It says for smudges, sprays, and roller oils. It's good stuff. I love that Moldavite oil. It smells really good. Just put it on your third eye there. Oh yeah. All right, Capricorn. So here we are, November. This is the last full month that you will see Saturn and Jupiter in your sign. And there's a lot of other things that are happening in November. I think the biggest things for you guys more than anything else is really paying attention to how other people are perceiving you. I also want you to do this for me. Do this little exercise for me. Think back to November, December 2017, and really see where you were during that time, because that's when Saturn shifted into Capricorn in December of 2017. And so it's literally been 3 years that you guys have been dealing with this. So I want you to go all the way back to that time period. And I want you to see how the story has played out and all of the lessons that you've learned, because we could easily talk about all of the shitty stuff that's happened in the last 3 years. We could easily talk about how there were so many things that went wrong and not enough things that went right, da-da-da-da-da-da. Or we could look at the situation, as my voice cracks because I've been talking a lot the last couple of days, excuse me. Or we could look at all of it and be like, what lessons did I learn? How did I come out of this better than when I started it in 2017? I know, there it is again, my voice is cracking like I'm a 13-year-old boy. And I know it's Mercury retrograde, just great, like, oh, just leave me alone already, it's fine. No, but really, it's going to go direct on November 3rd. It's going to go direct on November 3rd. But honestly, so look back on the last 3 years of your life. And especially when Jupiter entered Capricorn last December. Actually, it was the end of November when it entered Capricorn. And recognize the I mean, I know it's been a really hard year, and I know that can be really difficult to do sometimes, to recognize the gifts within the lessons. But this is really that time that we need to do that. Because if you don't recognize the lessons that you've learned through this Saturn in your sign, it's going to be very hard for you to dig yourself out of any holes in the future. So being really super aware of exactly what Saturn was teaching you about yourself is the biggest thing. And then you get this huge breath of fresh air as it moves into your second house in December. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. In fact, I'm going to do like a whole thing with Saturn moving into Aquarius and what that means for each sign and stuff like that. But for you guys, more than anything, I think that really paying attention to how you've grown and how you've, even if it was so hard, and even if you felt like defeated, 3/4 of the time, that 1/4 was still more than you probably could have asked for. Give me 1 second really quick, and then we'll start shuffling the cards. That light was like screaming at me, and I had to turn it down. So here we are. All right, Capricorn, let's see. There is going to be a new moon in your 11th house. There's going to be a full moon in your 6th house, 5th house, sorry. Full moon in your 5th house. At the end of October, there's the full moon in your 5th house, and then on the 14th of November, there's a new moon in your 11th house. So really paying attention to your friend groups and how they are allowing you to balance yourself out. There's some stuff that's going to probably come to the surface and it may be things that you really haven't been paying attention to up until now. Like you've been so busy and, you know, I mean, you guys are the goats, the OG goats, right? So everything that you're doing and everything... That was weird. Hold on a second. That was really weird, you guys. My MacBook just decided that it wanted to start playing the news while I was talking about all of your accomplishments and such that you've been working on. So we have the Justice card and we have the 5 of Cups. Man, that Libra energy. If you've been dealing with a Libra lately, or somebody with heavy Libra energy, I don't feel like it. I either feel like you're disappointed in them or they're disappointed in you. There's some kind of dwelling on the past, though. Oh, and it could even be a water sign. It does feel like there are some extra emotions that are happening here, but it's ooh. Okay. Look at that. All right. So we got the King of Cups came out, but hiding behind it was actually the 7 of Pentacles. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like you're being protected from, you know how I say that rejection is protection from the universe? So when you feel rejection, when somebody says no to you, or something doesn't turn out the way that you want it to turn out, I always say that that's actually protection from the universe happening. And I feel like there is something that you have been trying to accomplish. There's this thing that you've really been trying to accomplish to bring a little bit of justice, to bring a little bit of balance back into your life. Now, you could be dealing with a Libra energy, but you could also be dealing with a water sign. And the 7 of Pentacles makes me feel like you planted a seed. They're doing, there's so many things that are happening during your reading right now. Like, of course, this is going on during Mercury retrograde. Of course. They're doing construction outside. And so you can, I don't know if you can hear that's going on out there, but it's pretty funny. It actually sounds like one of those Indian tom drums. Whatever. Here we are. So, the King of Cups on the 7 of Pentacles. There's the King of Cups and yeah, with the 7, it really feels like you've tried to manifest something. Either you've tried to manifest something for this person to change the way things are going, or you're trying to manifest this person to change the way things are going. And there's, it feels like you're sort of disappointed by the results of whatever. We're going to get one more card because I feel like that King of Cups and 7 of Pentacles up there belongs together, so we're not going to separate it. I mean, I sort of feel like I want to say more than anything that we need to really remember, we really need to remember that the things that are for us will just simply be for, like, if we're following our path, if we're following our journey and following our path and being guided by our heart, not what we think, not what our ego wants our heart to feel, but if we're actually being guided by our journey and our purpose and our heart and the direction that we're supposed to be going in, and we're allowing ourselves to be super open to whatever comes along, and we don't try and force a specific person, force a specific situation. And forcing it, what does forcing it look like? I mean, you guys will, like, when you have your mindset that you want a particular person, or you have your mindset that you want a particular job, or you want a particular situation to come out, you will stop at nothing to get that person, to get that job, to get that thing. If you're not interested, you will not give it the time of day at all. Like, if a Capricorn gives you the time of day, especially right now, especially in the last several years, you're a pretty lucky person. If a Capricorn is paying attention to you in any way, shape, or form, you're a pretty special person, because they don't have time for that. But there is something here that you have to, there is something that you truly, truly have to release. Sorry for the glare. That Ten of Swords on the Wheel of Fortune, I mean, it's not really easy, and I feel like it's just an idea. I feel like there's this idea that you really wanted something to happen. It just does not look like it's coming to fruition. And the more you force it, the more you sort of push it away. And so I really want you to look at that. Because it's not that I don't think that this isn't for you, but I don't think that this version of the story that you really want it to be is for you. That's what I'm sort of getting at. And right now, since Mercury is retrograde in this moment right now, things are going to be a little bit convoluted. But once it goes direct and we get past the shadow period, which will be around November 17th, things will become a little bit more clear. And you'll be able to see why it didn't work out, why the communication wasn't necessarily there, why the situation didn't lay out the way that you wanted it to, why it wasn't why you didn't get the justice, why you didn't get the, the truth. Because that's what justice, that's what the Justice card represents, is the truth and the balance of the situation. Okay, let's see. Nine of Pentacles. Something about this situation that you really, really wanted to happen, or this person that you really wanted to happen, it showed you just how independent and strong of a person you are, how independent and abundant you are, and honestly, probably even to the point to where that you manifested things very easily. But you also manifested things to go in another direction or in another way, because it wasn't because it wasn't part of your path. It wasn't part of your story. It wasn't part of your journey. And so we have to honor that too. We have to honor the parts of our story that just aren't for us, and recognize that there's probably something better on the other end if we do feel that rejection, or we do get that no from the universe. Okay, so Five of Cups. Oh, yeah, okay. See, I think that you put yourself out there in a way, and you sort of, I don't want to say that you get your heart trampled on, but it doesn't go the way that you want it to go. And maybe some of you do get your heart trampled on, to be honest, and I hate that I even have to say those words. But sometimes that's what it takes for us to recognize that we keep on going for the wrong thing, or we keep on searching for the wrong thing. And when I say that your heart gets trampled on, I don't necessarily even mean in a romantic context. This could be that you really truly wanted to, because with Capricorns, when you're trying to create something and it doesn't go well, you take it personally, whether it's with work related, or whether it's friendship related, or life related, or whatever related. You guys take what you do when you work very hard on something, you take it very personally if it doesn't go well. So we have Judgment and the Knight of Cups here on the Five of Cups. But it's almost as if it's time for you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, is what I'm actually hearing to say. So I don't know if one of you like actually hears that or says those words, but it feels like it's time for you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And I want to say try again, but in a different, like a different kind of approach with that Judgment card and the Knight of Cups. That glare is driving me crazy. I don't even know if you guys see the glare, but it's driving me nuts. I'm such a Virgo right now. So Judgment and the Knight of Cups on the Five of Cups. It does feel like I want you to try again, but I want you to take a different approach, or I want you to try with a different person, or I want you to try with a different situation. And granted, yes, if you are heartbroken or you feel rejected, you also need to be willing to grieve that. You need to be willing to accept those emotions so that you're not projecting onto somebody else. And then it's time for you to start all over again. It's time for you to rebuild. So we have the Three of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles with the Seven of Pentacles and the King of Cups. So if the King of Cups is you, representing you, then there's this emotional need for you to start fresh, start all over again by doing it in a different way. And I do feel like a lot of this has to do with your business or your work. Yes, it might have some romantic connotation to it. It's very difficult sometimes to see when there's romance in a Capricorn reading, because Pentacles can equal love as well for an earth sign. I know that sounds really silly, and I rolled my eyes when I said it because it's so true. It's ridiculous. But you know, for earth signs, and I know I don't have to explain this to you, but maybe for a cross watcher, earth signs, we value our people, but we value our people in, you know, it can be in a material way, not necessarily a possessive way, but a very material kind of way. But this Three of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, you know, I don't want you to hold on to an old belief system to rebuild this, but I do feel like it's time for you to stand your ground. This really feels like it's time for you to stand your ground and say, I got to do something that's going to be good for me and makes me feel good, and not necessarily always be paying attention to what other people need or what's going to make other people's lives easier. You see, that Four of Pentacles to me makes me feel like you're standing your ground more than being miserly about it. You're more standing your ground. Okay, let's see what the Wheel of Fortune is. It seems as though I needed to have a long conversation with you guys this morning. I didn't realize how quickly. Okay. And when you finally realize that you've been giving all of your resources and all of yourself and all of who you are and everything that you have built, when you finally start to realize you're giving yourself to your detriment, and you stop doing that, you don't have to save everybody. You don't have to always be the person that everybody can count on. You know what I mean? That Six of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles on the Wheel of Fortune. The shift happens when you realize that you give so much of yourself that you end up lacking and everybody else is thriving. And that's how it all needs to change. That's how it all needs to shift. And it's really time for you to see that part, instead of constantly being the person that's like, I give. You know, we can take a step back and say, okay, I don't have to give so much of myself. I can start receiving. I can start receiving now. And I think that this is going to be a really painful realization. It feels like something has to be taken away from you for you to see it. It's almost like when the universe is giving me signs that I need to rest. I need to rest. and I don't listen to those signs. And so I either get injured or I end up getting sick. And then it's like, oh, okay. That's the only way they can get me to rest. I feel like, and it's unfortunate that we are the kind of people that we are, where we just go and go and go and go and go, and we give and give and give and give and give to our detriment so much that it's very hard to see the signs from the universe to say you must stop. And then we get to the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is also telling you that the worst is over. The worst can be over, but it isn't without learning the lesson first. Like, you're going to have to recognize that you cannot control the way things go. You cannot control the endings of things. There you are, King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. But you could also be dealing with an Aries energy as well. But the Emperor on the Ten of Wands, this is the end of your control. This is like, I literally want to say this is the end of your reign. You have to allow somebody else to come in and take action and take over sometimes, or just help. Or sometimes you just need to be able to say no. That's another way for you to take control of the things that are going on around you. When you feel like you don't have any control, all you got to do is say no. Then you're in full control. So we have the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Ten of Cups here. I'm sorry, the Ten of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, and the Four of Swords. What did I say about resting? There's always a reason why something comes out of my mouth. So really allowing yourself to step into that confidence as we move into Scorpio season and then into Sagittarius season, and you feel the weight of Saturn, you know, being lifted off of your shoulders, and you're allowing yourself to see a long-term stability that's finally becoming clear. Towards the end of November, there's going to be sort of like these clouds that open up, so that we can see the sun, so that we can see that there is a future, so that we can see the things that are falling away, so that we can rebuild or bring new things in. If you are super concerned about the future and you want to know what's happening in the future, the Three of Wands and the Four of Swords really allow, like, I feel like this is a time, this is going to be a great time for you, especially towards the end of November. It's going to be a really great time for you to rest and to allow yourself, pull back a little bit. Allow yourself to say, man, I've done too much. I've already done way too much. And keep your boundaries up. With the Seven of Wands, you don't have to fight. Seven of Wands and the Nine of Wands. You don't have to fight for the things that you really, truly want anymore. You just have to relax into the flow of the energy. And I know that that sounds a little bit weird, but when you allow yourself to let go of trying to force things in life, and you say, listen, I cannot do anything else. I can't do any more than what I've already done and what I've already given. And after that, it is what it is. And you just kind of take a step back and you realize that you cannot control everything. Life sort of takes a turn and it starts to even out. I do have the 6-month January through June 2021 personal reading offer available. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it this year, but right now I'm offering pre-orders, so you can actually even get December too if you pre-order before November 1st. All of the readings are going to be scheduled in November. You can go to my scheduler directly underneath this reading in the description box and just click there and pick a time. And any other reading is available as well. And if you need a reading before then, there are options for that as well. I love you guys. Take really good care of yourselves, and I will see you really soon. Bye.